and welcome to episode 54 of the Behind Enemy Lines podcast. I am host number 1, Greg.
It's me, Dan, so far away.
No Damien, so we found some
drunkard.
Eater.
Yeah. It's Mike.
He's back.
Hey!
Yay!
He's back.
Or talk, or chat, or cast, whatever.
A pod.
No, right? I know.
Cast.
But you've been listening to every episode since you left, right?
Yeah, sure. Let's say yes.
That's fair enough. Neither of us have either.
That's true. I only listen to it to cut out the bits that need to go between the ads.
Tell you what, I have been listening to every episode since you guys are on Spotify. How about that plug?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, we are on Spotify.
Did that happen?
When I found the button on Podbean to add us to Spotify, so I pushed the add to Spotify button, and so here we are.
Brilliant.
Start following us on Spotify then.
Okay.
All right. So, not much in the show's changed, Mike, but pre-warning you, we do swear a lot now.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah.
And we did have sound effects last time, but it won't let me play them anymore. So maybe next time we'll have sound effects. But I don't think anyone appreciated the 30-second long Russian national anthem occasionally. So
the bit of a delay.
Yeah, just a wee bit. Yeah. So anyway, Greg, social media, hit us up.
Absolutely. So we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we have a blogger, and there's a whole heap of content up on the blog at the moment. Go and check that out. So much
content.
It is I can't even remember the name.
What, the Behind Enemy Lines?
The URL, what's the URL? bel-podcast.blogspot.com. It's all linked off our Facebook page anyway. And a YouTube channel, which, yes, I'm aware we haven't put a video up for a while, apart from Dan's horrible painting videos. We're going to get a game in soon. What?
No, it's not a horrible painting. Yeah, I painted a minefield.
Oh. Yeah, it's true. That's good. Cool. That's cool. So once I am actually able to clean up and get like I have a mountain of shit sitting on my gaming table right now. So once that's all cleared away and tidied away, I'll be able to in for games, Team Yankee games lined up, 40k games lined up, all kinds of stuff lined up. So
it's good. Get it done.
Yeah.
Get it done.
I've just got to find. There's a lot going on at the moment, mate.
I know. Life is terrible, and you have to keep attending every concert that comes up.
I have been to one concert recently.
Yeah, and I bet
I'm not Steve Isles.
Bet you dropped your nuts when Metallica got released and you're like, tickets now.
I've already planned it. We have already planned how we are getting tickets on Monday.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you have to stand in line or something?
It's all on the internets.
I don't think anyone's had to stand in line for tickets for a long time in this country, Mike.
Oh, come on.
I actually saw someone. So I was at the Alice in Chains concert last night, and I saw somebody go up to the ticket window and buy tickets. I was just like, oh my God, is this the 90s? What's going on?
Well, they were popular then, weren't they?
Popular now.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Still popular now.
I was going to say something that was probably important, but it slipped my mind. It's much like that these days where I don't think too much, and it's like I think about it too much and I forget about it when someone else is talking.
Was it a shout out to our massively awesome helpers and supporters such as battlekiwi.com and diceofwar.com.au?
It could be those people at battlekiwi.com and diceofwar.com.au. They are both two great sponsors.
They are sponsors / supporters. Depends on your definition of sponsors, but because this is not a paid advertisement, but
sometimes they send us free stuff, so technically it's cool.
It's cool, guy.
Yeah, and let's have a shout out to our NZ40K Cabal podcast, who got the inspiration from the best podcast to make their podcast, but they make it all about 40K. So if you're looking for anything New Zealand related to just 40K, NZ40K Cabal, or Australian, I don't know who cares about those fuckers, but it's mostly New Zealand 40K Cabal stuff. Honestly, I've listened to the intro to the first one and skipped through it a bunch of times just to tell them how shit it was. But each podcast, I can only assume, gets better with age. Like ours, professional. First one was shite. 54th was a bit long-winded, but we're still here, and at least 60-something of you are still downloading it.
Fourth one is now.
What?
The 54th episode is the one we're doing right now.
I know, that's why I said it's a bit tired and sad.
But you said it's long. How do you know that it's long?
I will see. You don't know. I might be predicting the future, or it might be 45 minutes, and bang, we're done. Peace out, going home. But who knows? But anyway, look them up. That's NZ40K Cabal. I think that's their podcast names. Oh, they have a podcast. They actually describe what their channel is. Hey, let's look at that. Ha, what do you know?
Don't give them any more fucking airtime.
Hang on, shush. I'm trying to figure out what. Hey, their one says podcast in their about page. I'm going to go change our about page. Hang on, please hold. They are a podcast covering a range of Warhammer 40k topics, from hobby, competitive play, which is that wank play, tournament scene, and anything else us idiots choose to discuss. Okay, yeah. So they're a team of people. Their banner doesn't even fit on their page. Jesus Christ, guys, sort your shit out. But yeah, go listen to them if you want to, listen to 40k New Zealand style. But if you want to listen to every single game in the world, listen to us, because we play it all. Well, yeah, sure, okay.
Name a game I don't play.
Dust.
Play that.
Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout.
Nailed you.
Gotcha, fucker.
I thought that was a lifestyle, not a game.
It is
a bit of both.
Yeah. Bit of column A, bit of column B.
What's the next part? What are we doing now?
It's Noob News. Yep, no Damien to make that noise tonight.
Made it my own. What do we got?
Well, let's head back to Flames of War. Flames of War. The Great War launch sale's on now, so they're selling everything with 25% off. And they've got their new Great War book out. It's out in stores March, which is any time from now to the 30-something of March.
So I think the release date for that, the street date is 13th of March,
which is,
I want to say.
Which is still technically March. Excellent. So Great War is the big... Mike, why don't you talk about this? Didn't you tinker with this and make it good, and then something Osprey?
No, we did. I did the very, very first portion of this book, like the first incarnation. Wayne was working on it. He got sick, had to go away, so I helped finish the book up, and that's pretty much all that I did for contributing. Then I went back to Wayne when he got back, and he's added just a ton of new stuff, new content to the book. And now it's this massive Osprey-sized book. I don't know if it's actually published via Osprey anymore.
Isn't it?
No, it's the same size.
I'll tell you in a moment. I've got a copy of it in my hands.
How do you have a copy of it?
How do I have a copy of it?
Yeah, you suck.
If you paid attention to our blog, you'll know that we're currently doing a whole heap of coverage for it.
Oh, so that's how you managed to do it. They gave you a book.
So where's my copy?
Oh. That's not all we've got, Dan.
Jeez.
So we've got a crack team. We put together a crack team of people in Auckland. Me.
It is. The greatest.
Well, it's already going downhill when you start with you. And who?
Pat Gribble and Mike Hort.
Oh, okay. Well, there's at least two-thirds of the team's all right.
And some
Four
dude
people in the
named Ryan, I think, is his name. I think Ryan.
I don't know. He doesn't exist in a reality that we understand. He only appears from time to time, and then you don't remember if you saw him.
Saw him on Tuesday.
He's got a goatee and everything, so he's from the Mirror Universe.
He's evil Ryan.
He shows up. He does everything opposite. So he shows up to events, talks to people, actually wins a game occasionally, and then fucks off. So
on Tuesday night he didn't.
Well, there you go. Got smashed.
Worse, he lost to me.
So yeah, the four of us are doing some articles for Great War. It's going to be fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So we've got
this is a lot of stuff. I'm just going through it. It's even got the Belgians and the Americans and New Zealanders.
So before it was what was the size of the book before? It was like a 72-page It
was like a little floppy thing you would get
that was the first edition. That was the very first, and then they did a soft cover traditional old school Flames of War book.
Oh yeah,
it's probably about the same size as Desperate Measures or whatever.
Yeah. One of the small books.
Yeah. and then we added a couple more things to it for that. But then Wayne just like pulled out all the stops for this book. So
Oh my God, look.
He just
got
went
all sorts of good stuff.
World War One all.
Yep. Yep.
I'm looking at the
Start off
lists.
Star,
So,
Great War.
so looking
Yeah.
at the lists in the book, they start on page 870, page 78 of the book, and they go through to page 185. So there's 100 pages of lists in the book,
Jesus.
and that's covering off the Germans, obviously.
And keep in mind,
The
keep in mind that that's actually 100 pages of like the new version 4 format list. So like
Right.
you can fit a lot more lists in the space that you used to be able to fit in. So it's even like I'd say another 25% more than what was in the original.
It's massive. It's massive,
Yeah.
right? So the Germans are in there, the British are in there. You've got regular line divisions. You've also got elite divisions, and then you've got colonial divisions as well. So Anzacs and Canadians are in there for you. Then you go into they've got cavalry that's in there. Then you go into the French. Then you go into the Belgians. It's awesome. It's seriously cool. And for all you Russian fans out there, don't worry. The Russians are in here as well.
They don't have miniatures for the Russians, though, do they?
I just use the French ones.
Really?
Yeah, so it's the Russian Legion that fought with the French. So
Western
Yeah.
Front Russian.
it's the Russian Expeditionary Force.
And I'm just looking at the box set. They're about 100, and I'm assuming that's US dollars for the big box sets now. So
Hmm.
and
Yep,
that's
they're
your-
good
Box sets
Yep.
have a series. So I've got the French one.
And didn't you have the British one as well?
Don't have the British one.
What didn't I give it to you, or did you sell it?
No, that was a World War II, early war British.
Oh yeah, same thing.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
Ryan's got a Mirror Universe. Ryan has has the British one, right?
Pat's got the Germans, and Mike's got.
The Americans.
Of course.
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course.
These
What's
look
cool
like
about the Americans? The Americans now have Marines. So
They do.
that's pretty
Cool.
awesome. So they're like, and so there's two varieties of Americans. There's the confident trained guys, the fresh off the boat guys, and then there's the confident veteran ones, which were the first batch that fought at Belleau Wood, and then you also have the Marines, which are fearless veteran and full of badassness. So it's really cool. So for those people who are like worried about doing like hordes and hordes and hordes and hordes and hordes and hordes and hordes of infantry, you don't have to worry so much because like every nation has like super crack troops that you can take that take up about a bunch of points. So you can do a small like Marine force. I think like 2 platoons of Marines, some FT-17s, some artillery, and job done. And maybe not even like the artillery. Just thinking about it, because those guns are huge. It might just be a couple platoons of infantry and some tanks, and that's it. If you want to go that route, that's the route I'm going to go. I'm going to paint my guys up to do that. So, and they're pretty cool.
You
So,
yours,
yeah.
right?
What's that? I'm going to paint them up as just doughboys, but I'll probably field them as Marines because there's no visual distinction that I can tell anyway. So, go that route.
wow. I like how these games sort of run semi-autonomous on their own backing. They have their own like life now that the molds have been made for them and stuff. So
Yeah.
they just make them and sell them when they need them.
Yep, because I had a platoon of Americans that I got in the first release ages ago.
Yeah.
And I got those started because when Greg said, "Hey, you want to do Great War?" I was like, "Yes," and I immediately went out to the garage, opened up a blister, cleaned them up, got them ready, and then we got the preview of the army boxes, and I opened up the blister of infantry out of there, and they're just as good as they were. What was that, like 2 years ago, something like that.
Nice.
So,
Longer.
yeah, so they're nice, crisp molds. They look really good, and I'm pretty stoked about it. So
Looks awesome. So, rumor has it that this weekend at TCOW, Ryan and Pat are actually going to be playing a game of Great War as well, using the new rules.
There we
So keep an eye on the blog. I'll have some photos up if it actually goes ahead.
cool.
Sweet, that'll be good.
Really stoked. So I've started painting. I did a test paint on French infantrymen on Wednesday night. I just quickly painted it up. Needs a bit of a wash, but looks good.
Yeah. Do you have enough Horizon Blue to paint all of it?
I am actually using an old GW Regal Blue, which
Heresy.
matches quite nicely.
Heresy.
You got enough?
Sorry.
You've got enough of it because once it runs out, it's gone.
I know. Yeah, I've got pretty much a whole bottle of it.
Oh, that's good
Oh,
because
that's
that's
good.
what you need. Because once you run out of one color, you're done for.
Correct. Yeah, because I'm looking. I've got the three step ups of Citadel bottles. So I got the Regal Blue that moved into the Mordian Blue, that moved into the McCrag Blue, and they're just all slightly lighter shades of each other. So it won't match up if I don't do it properly.
Oh well.
Hmm.
Null oil will fix all the problems. I went to have a look at Team Yankee. There's just a few articles in there. There's articles about Seed getting rid of that enemy air defenses, and there's a smack, and there's also about how to overcome infantry missiles teams, which obviously is like the Milan spam. How to stop that? It's like rush them. And the 2019 objectives, which look cool. I think we may have already talked about those. The Romulan Atlantic Wall is like meh. It's just some dude on a beach looking at some waves, maybe. Who knows? But the what are they calling the Team Yankee? Is it just called Great Scott?
Something like that.
So I feel like I need to just paint up some tanks and go to any event, lose the whole way through just to get that objective. So
Oh, yeah.
that's
Yes.
that'll
Yes.
probably be my 2019 resolution.
Yeah, and
Do
looking.
you
at
want the Team Yankee one?
Yeah, can I feel
Let's
the
go on
force of like just a couple like 5 M4s and call it good? Or is that like
you could probably
Pause.
Leopard 2s. You have
No.
5 of them.
I have some Abrams. I don't want to have to like
Oh.
branch off into something that's not American.
I'll lend you my Leopard 2s.
You can do an allied tank list from the NATO book. You take your Americans with some Germans, and you're like, teaming up to take on the Reds. Yeah, one last time. And then you get your objective.
Okay. Anyway, I do want the objective. So.
Yep. And just looking at it, locations these objectives are at: Panzerschreck in Palmerston North, Historicon in Pennsylvania, FlamesCon in Auckland, and CanCon in Australia. But that's in 2020, January.
Also, in case you missed the news, the Great Scott objective's great, but next year's Team Yankee objective will be
What?
So it's
Libyans.
Oh yes, the Libyans in the combi van. Nice.
They found me. They found me.
They found me.
The Libyans.
Nice.
So that's next year's objective for Team Yankee.
Oh, awesome.
Cool.
That's
like a
good.
bookend thing. That's cool.
That's great.
Gonna look great next to my EM50.
Yes, I still need that. Yeah. So yeah, not much going on in the Team Yankee, but they've released a ton of stuff over the time, and the fourth version that's due out mid this year sometime.
Sure.
Yep. Cool. Good to see everyone's up to date with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Oil War is just around the corner as well.
Everyone keeps going Oil Wars. It's just Oil War.
Oil War.
And,
Just one more. Just one more.
And who is it? It's Israel versus everybody?
There's Israel, Iran, Iraq, and Syria.
Is there Jordan? Or is that that's
That was in Fate of a Nation.
yeah.
This is one where Jordan was like, we'll sit this one out.
Yeah.
Is that right? They're like, we already had our asses handed to us twice. We think we'll just kick back. You guys do it.
You got
Yeah,
this.
we are. It's done. It's done. All right, move on to another company.
Warlord, Bolt Action. They've gone bananas with Hungarians. They've released like a Hungarian book, and then they've just gone ape shit with the Hungarian release. Like some really nice looking models. At least they look really well painted. And
Aren't they just Germans with different hats?
No. Hungarians are a total. What am I typing Hungarians in my? I had it up here on my Facebook, then I started looking at other things. It's so annoying.
Looking at the new releases on the Warlord
I'm
page,
looking at everything. It's like, how do they look? They don't look like Germans. I mean, they got the World War One looking German helmet,
Yeah, they've got the big ass helmets, right?
but
Take a look.
they're a bit browner in the uniform. Let's see what they got. Oh, great! I can't even read this. God, fix your website, guys. Fuck's sake. They got a Hungarian starter force, which is a bit of everything. They got the Saba armored car. They've got Hungarian Army Support Group and Hungarian Honved Division section, which I guess is their basic troops. They got a parachute assault section for that big Hungarian paratrooper regiment that they were well known for. At some point in the Never War that they did that. Yeah, it's weird. I'm not sure, but it's set in the. I think this is for the Siege of Budapest. So
it's the new campaign book. Fortress Budapest is out.
Yeah, that's it. Them having their asses handed to them by the Russians. Fun times, lucky guys. But yeah, they got a whole bunch of new models for it. But it seems a weird one to do to me. It's like, let's do I mean, since you did the Budapest book, but like, I don't know, bolt action works differently to every other game. And the fact that you could take this force from late Budapest and take it against the early war British at that place that I forgot.
What? Britain.
Nah. Well, you could use the home guard against them, for crying out loud. Yeah. So
probably equal on capability there.
Yeah, I mean the game is just a rock paper scissors game. We know that.
It is not.
They're probably getting to the end of. I mean, we experienced this with Flames of War, right? Like, we did literally all the things, and then we had to start kind of exploring niche areas in order to.
Yeah, but when you get to the end, you're just like, oh, well, it's time for a new version, everybody. Let's start again. And you're like, whew, dodge that bullet 4 times.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the bolt action guys have really picked up on that so much. Maybe they don't really have a.
They're up to their second edition, but there's still some problems with the game.
Yeah. I'll keep quiet on that one. So.
Yeah. Same old Mike.
Yeah. So best to not say anything. If you don't have anything to say
Don't mention the 28mm war.
I think we got away with it.
Let's shoot over to Games Workshop for a minute, because the buzz around Games Workshop is around the release of the new 40k box set Shadow Spear, which is due for pre-order tomorrow morning, actually.
And an Abaddon that is spoiler whose arms shouldn't fall off.
One would hope.
Well, he's plastic, so finally. And he's about the same size as Roboti Gulimans. So
yeah.
That's good.
So
how frustrating is it to have a product named Shadow Spear and a Shadow Spire? Because I feel like
Shade Spire?
That's the one, yeah. They're too damn similar.
Well, isn't one a fantasy game?
Well, maybe.
And one's a sci-fi game?
Yep, they are.
I'm pretty sure no one's going to work into a Games Workshop and be like, oh, I need to get those new Space Marines from Shade Spire, and the red shit behind the counter is like, are you sure? Because this is full of barbarians and shit. And they'd be like, oh, it's not the Space Marine box. It's like, yeah, dumbass. Like, oh, silly me. Because
well, I got confused because I saw that on TCO, Greg was looking to split a box, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, hey, I thought he was talking about Shade Spire, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll get in on that. So obviously,
you dodged the bullet. You dodged the bullet there because you were installing yourself a nice new Chaos army.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm still waiting for those sisters, and then I'll get into 40k.
That shouldn't be too long.
Later on this year.
That's this year sometime.
All right.
Classics. This is a battle. Everyone's gonna lose their shit over that. It's been
the
too
trouble
long.
is, I've been waiting for so long on that, and then when they actually do come out, then every one of their dogs gonna fucking get it. So it's not going to be like I'm doing anything interesting.
Yeah, but they're going to get them, and then they're going to realize that they're not that great, and then they're going to sell them.
And then classic TCAL fashion, we'll be onto a different game by then.
Oh, more than likely.
I don't know. We've held under 40k for a while now.
Yeah, that's been constant at the club since 8th edition hit. So.
Cool.
We haven't stopped playing it, so I think that the problem with Shadow Spear is that you're going to have Eldar players walking in there looking for a new Shadow Seer, and they're going to get sold a whole new fucking box of two new armies in it. That's going to be the problem.
Yeah, I don't think Eldar people are going to be that dumb though. You know, not just going to go. You don't just walk into a Games Workshop and it's like, this sounds like one of the lame wanky weapons from my army. May I have a box of it for $300? They're like, certainly, foolish human, have this. Well, the Games Workshop person would just sell it to them because they're
$300. Is that fine cast?
Oh, shit. That's mental.
Yeah, so I kind of need these new Vanguard Primaris guys, so that's why I need to get the box.
Yeah, I didn't like
I
the
don't
look of
want the
them, so
Chaos
I didn't
guys.
split a box yet.
So I did have someone who was going to split a box with me, and then he flaked.
What a
Was
loser.
it Mirror Universe Ryan by chance?
Oh, it was fucking Damian Reed.
Yeah. No wonder
He is
he's
Oh,
right.
man.
buried in your backyard somewhere, isn't he?
He's doing
That's
what?
all.
Where is he actually? Isn't he?
He's standing outside.
Oh, creepy.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's
I was gonna say it'd be weird.
something
Isn't he doing soccer or something again?
like that.
Is he
Weird.
dadding?
He's dadding. He's dadding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's being like an adult. Yeah. Anything else? Board games? How about you?
Hang on, just seeing if there's anything else on Warhammer. On Warhammer, there's not. Board games, yeah, totally.
Yeah, bro. Go nuts.
Yeah. So just looking over at Kickstarter now, Paladins of the West Kingdom, which is the new game out of Garphill Games, Shem Phillipson. So that's the second title in his West Country trilogy. Is just gone live on Kickstarter. He wanted to hit a target of $23,000 to get this one off the ground. Currently sitting at $444,000.
Jeez.
That's done all right then.
What about no stretch goals on this at all? It is the game.
Yeah.
See, that's a
he's
proper
gone from
Kickstarter.
strength to strength, right? It's like he's gone from strength to strength. Like he starts off with a solid product. He's got a great artist behind him, and he just keeps pushing it, and people love it. So it's great. I'm glad he's having success.
So you get the box, and then there's free promos provided with every copy. So he's got he's effectively got 3 levels of support. He's got your standard game, which is 78 New Zealand dollars, pretty fucking good.
That's
It's
cheap.
euro. Yeah. So you can buy that in either an English version or a non-English version,
Right.
which is either French, German, Portuguese, Spanish, or
I
Italian.
was gonna say it's like English or non-English. Like, what is it? Just a bunch of make your own words up and shit.
Squiggles.
This
Yeah.
is English and this is non-English. Which language is it? Not English. What's your problem?
Yeah. Thanks. Cool story, smartass. And then the next one is a $96 pledge, which is the game as well, but you get a set of 50 metal coins. And then the final one is $156, which is Coin Architect. So you get exactly the same as the coin level pledge, but you also get a copy of Architects of the West Kingdom, which is the first game of the trilogy.
Nice.
It looks like a lot of people are doing that one. There's almost 600 backers at that level.
Wow.
$56, and then 192 backers at that level for the non-English versions.
That's good. So it seems it's taken off overseas as well.
Massive,
Yeah,
man.
just
Massive.
having a look at his website, and he's got all the old games are still there. You can get all of the original Viking ones plus the campaign stuff and the expansion stuff. But he's also got a North Sea Epilogues, which is like an RPG set in his world, which is kind of cool. It's a PDF download.
I did remember seeing that somewhere.
Yeah, so he's got like the artwork and stuff from the Mako, which is his artist, and yeah, it's just a PDF. Grab it for $12 US, and away you go if you want to do some role playing and Viking role playing. Sounds like fun.
It's like a heap of fun.
Yeah.
This one. I haven't seen anything else on Kickstarter, but to be fair, I haven't been on there a lot of late.
Battle
I was considering.
Kiwi's been building a bunch of stuff.
He has been, yeah. Ollie's been very, very
He's
busy.
been super
down
busy.
there. New stuff coming out for. He's just teased a new piece of Infinity Terrain. Big piece of Infinity Terrain that he's got coming out.
Rumble Dome or something, or Rumble Dome.
Rumble Dome,
Oh my
yeah.
god, it's hard to say.
Yeah, but he did that on purpose, right? He purposely designed it so that it's difficult to say. And he's designing stuff all the time. He's actually redesigned his website a little bit, which looks super cool.
Oh, cool. I haven't been there for a while.
Looking at it right now. So
I'm getting how I
look,
like see.
Hmm.
where I get all my bases from now. I don't go anywhere else.
Yeah, I was going to do
Easy.
an order of some clear bases. I was going to do a bunch of clear bases for. I was thinking about rebasing all of my Star Wars Imperial Assault guys on clear bases. So.
Oh, cool, good idea.
Good idea,
looks
because then you can. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. It is
A battle terrain.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah, but of course, I mean it's the same. It's the same Battle Kiwi. You go there, you use your code BEL5, you'll get 5% off your purchase.
Good stuff. All right. Nice, real nice. Good work, team. Right, anything else before we go into the part into an advertisement?
I've got one quick thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
The Mophidius, the guys that are doing all of the kind of like they do a bunch of role playing stuff. So they've got like Star Trek and Fallout is the one I'm going to talk about for a minute. The Fallout.
I'll just go to sleep.
Okay, you do that. So it's the game that Greg famously doesn't play, and actually I don't think any of us played a Fallout, their actual like war game, or their tabletop miniature game. We do play a little bit of TNT, but what they have done, which I'm kind of curious about and kind of interested in, is they have taken their tabletop Fallout franchise and turned it into a RPG. So they just announced that they're doing a standalone kind of role-playing expansion for their tabletop game. So it'll be interesting to see how it integrates into the tabletop like system. I don't think it really does, because it says here that it's using their classic 2D20 system that they use for like Mutant Chronicles and their Star Trek and John Carter and Mars and stuff like that. All those games will use that D20 system, and this is using the same one, but it's all set in Fallout, so it's a Fallout RPG using their miniatures, and their miniatures are really gorgeous. They're really nicely done, and they're just collector's items in and of themselves. So I'm going to gradually collect the entire Star Trek range, and I might have to start buying some of these Fallout ones as well. And then they will double as my TNT crew as well.
Smart.
Yeah, so they're good. They're expensive, but I think they're worth it, because they're like those resin figures, but they're collector's nice, and you're only doing like a couple of figures. Like, and for role playing, you're doing one, so it's worth it. And so they just dropped that news. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. And TNT doesn't require generally that many figures either, if you think about it.
Yeah, if you build smart.
Super smart.
Yeah, like if I try to do caravanners, and it's like you need like 700 little motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, because they're
stupid.
That's why I've got peacekeepers.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're pretty cool. So yeah. Also, like I bought the Fantasy Flight board game, the one that's the Fallout Fantasy Flight board game, and I was thinking about getting some of the miniatures, because it comes with 4 miniatures. It's kind of in a similar style as Imperial Assault, which is what I've been playing a ton of lately. But so it's kind of like similar, kind of like soft plasticky kind of thing. But I was thinking about replacing those with these Fallout figures, and then kind of expanding like the characters that you can take in the board game with these. So I see that these figures can be used like everywhere in all the things. So yeah, so I wanted to kind of give that bit of news a bit of a shout out.
Cool.
That's awesome. It's good stuff. All right, that's it, I think, for Noob News. Anything else you've scoured from the internet, Greg? Anything you've...
No, I've just been having a look now. And, no.
No. All right.
Not really much else.
I am going to end this. Welcome to our ads. Stay tuned for part 2 soon. Need tokens, terrain, or custom battlefield accessories? BattleKiwi.com has you covered. With a wide range of laser cut MDF and acrylic, it has something to suit everyone's wargaming needs. Ranging from the battlefields of World War II to the far future of Infinity, BattleKiwi.com has it all. Visit BattleKiwi.com, and for a 5% discount, use the code BEL5. Welcome back to part 2 of Behind Enemy Lines. This is episode 54, back with Dan, Greg, and Mike. Here to talk about all the exciting things that we have done at club in the past couple of weeks, and our separate clubs, because Mike has his own one, Greg has his own one, and I now also have my own one, as you've all been aware. So Greg is at TCAL, which is
club in Auckland,
West Auckland's best wargaming club. Mike is part of the East Auckland Irregulars, if that's correct.
Yep, that's right.
And I am part of the Southland Wargamers, also known as Southern Crossfire. Yeah, so it's a pretty...
Really?
What?
back up the fucking truck. Really?
Southern Crossfire.
Southern Crossfire.
I know it's a lame name, but that's what they named it. So you know.
All club names are lame, so let's
Exactly. So's TCAR. It's an acronym. And East Auckland Irregulars. It used to be like originally this was all Royal Oak Rapscallions or something lame like that many years ago.
I wasn't part of that crowd.
Yeah, you were maybe. I don't know.
Nah.
But we've all moved on and evolved since then. You know.
Haven't.
So well, you haven't because you're lazy. But yeah, lots of stuff's happened. Lots of things. I like my club because it's in a pub.
Do you want to talk about what's been going on down south then?
Holy shit, there's been so much going on down south. There is a lot of 40k. Someone bought Tales of Equestria, the board game. The storytelling game, I'm sorry.
Is that ponies?
Oh, yeah, My Little Ponies, buddy. My Little Ponies.
You put tails on and you jump around.
It's not one of those lovely games.
Fireball.
Yeah. There was a game of there was an apocalypse game played. It took less time than your average 40k game. The reason why it took less time than your average 40k game in apocalypse games is because there was 2 Warhound Titans and a Warlord Titan and about 6 knights and about
How many wounds does a Warlord Titan have?
30 or 32. And it doesn't have wounds, it has hull points in because they were playing 30k.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, but just looking at it, there was a way. One of the guys found a way to actually destroy a Warlord Titan in 40k, 8th edition, in 1 round.
Fuck off.
Yeah. With the Gene Stealer Cult Magus, there is a buff, one of the spells magics, what are they called? Psychic things that can buff them up to leadership 12, right? And then there's like a psychic will battle where you roll off on 2d6, and if you beat the guy, you add your leadership or something stupid like you roll a d6, add your leadership. Can't remember exactly what it is, but you will always win if you're leadership 12, and the Warlord will just constantly lose wounds because you get to keep rolling. Every time he loses a wound, you roll again. So you can just do that 30 times. And if the Warlord can never equal the amount of leadership, because you can get the Warlord right down to leadership 6, I think it is, or 5. Yeah, you can reduce it down to leadership 5, so he'll never get 12. So you use a whole combination of like Shadow in the Warp, ruining its things, and you can just bring down this 4-foot model with one tiny Magus dude. Someone was telling me about it. I thought it was absolute bullshit, but then I went to confirm it. I was like, Jesus, that's a pile of shit. One psychic phase takes out a... But he'd have to be pretty close. When the Warlord exploded, it would probably take out half the table.
Good point. Holy shit.
But if you're bringing a 3,000 point Warlord or 4,000 point Warlord to battle, you deserve to get stomped on. Otherwise, they're pretty big weapons.
I agree with you.
Yeah. But that Warlord in that picture is made from wood and plumbing supplies.
Shit.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's a scratch build.
Yeah, it's fully scratch built.
That's
and
awesome.
there's an armor cast Warhound in there too. But yeah, that was fully scratch built out of plumbing supplies and some wood, which is kind of interesting. But it did the job. Every time it fired, it took out like 6 to 7 tanks per gun, and it's got 4 guns. So it was just going around the table knocking shit down. It had something like 8 void shields or 6 void shields. They all got taken out in the first round, and it was just down to wounds. But it has a 5/6 invulnerable, and he took 10 hits on it, and it just made 5 or 6. No, it made all 10 of the saves on invulnerable saves.
Oh, that's not cool.
And then the next round it grew back 5 void shields. It's like, thank you. Yeah. But the Warhound destroyed the other Warhound, and there was a few nightly charges and a bit of a mess. But Josh was not happy about losing all those tanks. It was defeated. Kill Team's real popular at our club. They love it, and so is board gaming.
The Hibiscus Coast Club that plays out of Mighty 8 up here are really big into Kill Team. I still haven't managed to get a game in with my Skatari yet. But to be fair, I haven't built them either.
Oh, that's fair enough.
That's probably the reason why. I'm just
It's definitely the reason why.
Yeah. Other than that, I think I talked about last week, we had a game of Team Yankee at my club.
Oh, that's right.
Flames of War is popular with what seems like a grumpy crowd. But they because they're like 3rd edition was the best edition, yada 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 kind of people. But with that, haven't actually tried 4th edition yet. Kind of, that kind of talk.
Yeah. We know those people.
Yeah. But
are they Australian?
No, they're Invercargian.
what are you saying, Greg? What are you saying?
But
I'm gonna pull you up on that. Actually,
playing Team Yankee was really good fun. It was the first game I've had since playtesting. It was Americans versus British, and it was my lab spam, and I won by capturing the objective, which was funny. I'll tell you what, the big letdowns of my army were the Cobras, the missile, what do you call those? The labs with the hammerhead missiles.
Yeah.
And my Abrams. Every time they hit something, they either failed their firepower, or they just whiffed, and I couldn't believe it. I think I lost a squad of labs, and that was it in the game. But I just won by capturing the objective, rushing onto it, and capping it with
rethinking
labs.
What we're taking to Panzer Street then?
Am I rethinking it?
Yeah.
No, fuck no. I'm still taking all the labs, everything in labs, including the 2 mortars, because why not? And the 4. I got 4 Abrams. Oh, I'm yawning. Woo! And 4 Cobras because they look cool. I just need you to.
So I don't need to bring Cobras.
No, you need to bring things that make the sky go away.
Got that.
Anti Hines.
I have a box of Sergeant Yorks just sitting here.
Excellent. I wonder where my Sergeant Yorks are and my artillery is that I ordered ages ago.
Battlefront.
Probably still at Battlefront because no one's ever thought to pick them up and send them to me, even though I asked like a million times. Anyway, enough whinging. But yeah, it looks good. But that road trip that we talked about is getting closer every day. So 3 months. Oh, when is it? Is it in July?
Hi, man.
July. Oh, there's 4 months away. Plenty of time. Mike, are you going?
No, it's not locked in.
Oh, sad. And you're not a big Team Yankee fan anyway, are you?
No. Like I said, I'm in it for the Back to the Future objective, and that's about it.
Yeah.
If you don't come to Panzer Street, the only way you're going to be able to get that is to come to Flamescon.
Oh well, I could go to CanCon.
Oh, you could.
Yeah, you could. I'm sure you'll be loved there.
I've been actually. I bought a bunch of M4A1s for tanks because I want to do tanks modern. So I bought a bunch of them.
4A1s or M1A1s?
M4A or M1A1s. Sorry, I'm thinking Shermans for some reason. No, I meant Abrams. Yeah. So I've got 5 Abrams, and I was gonna. Well, that's pretty much tanks for it. So that's what I'm playing.
Yeah.
I'm getting my models together for that.
Sweet. What are you just gonna do green or desert color? What are you gonna do?
I'm doing the. I've picked out a picture of there's like some some M1s kind of like rocking through Baghdad, like in kind of the 3-tone green, brown, black camo. Really off, and in the middle of the desert, which is bizarre, but that's just the way
around like the MERDC. That's not even the RDC.
Sure. Yes, I don't know what the technical term for it is, but it is the regular
fancy
NATO
colors.
Regular NATO colors for like the Reforger that period, and it's really bizarre because it's just like the picture is these tanks kind of rolling down on Baghdadi street with those 2 big sword sculptures. They're like big fuck off swords.
Yeah, like the gates to Baghdad or something, right?
Yeah. It's like made out of the melted down AK-47s of the Iran, and like that. Anyway, there's like a bunch of M1s kind of parading down the street, and so I just really liked the contrast of that desert color with that camo scheme. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Cool.
so I've got them all assembled and stuff, but I don't have them base coded yet. So we'll get there.
Nice. I mean, I've got mine base coded in a green. I did a test on one Abrams, and that'll be the rest of the labs. I want to get the little backpack thingies, the baggage stowage stuff that they Battlefront make for it, all the little baggies to make it look like they're a proper caravan of Marines. I've finished what do you call those thingies? The Cobras now. They're fully done and just need maybe another coat of micro soul set, the last one on the decals to make the shininess go away, and then it's gonna dull coat the shimmy timbers out of them. And
did you gloss varnish under your decals before you put them on?
I satin varnished the entire model to help the ink flow around it. So same thing.
That's a tip I got off the 40k cabal.
Yeah, but that's a tip anywhere, and you don't actually need to do that if you've got
Don't
micro
put decals on normally.
Well, yeah, fair enough then. But you know, the Cobras are done. I think they look cool because I've done them in that marine sea grey color, and managed to steal the decals from the Huey Cobras and stick those on the side. And you'll be happy to know I only broke one decal during the whole thing, which is amazing.
Good
because usually I
work.
screw up like 30 decals. So it was just one of the little black outlined American Air Force star thingies that they have, whatever they are, star things. So that's cool. No big loss there. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, working on a lot of stuff, playing the game, and building Legion of the Damn Space Marines.
And they look cool though, dude.
Custom Space Marines. It's like it consists of Primera Space Marines and a box of Warlords, Iru One, just skeleton warriors basically. The reason I use those is because the hands and the feet are actually individual on them, so they're not actually attached to weapons like most skeleton models are. They're just open hands, or like, you know, you can close them or you can open them by bending them. And the skulls are plastic, so they're easy to work with, and they've got a lot of open mouth skulls which are good on the end of a bolter, so it looks like they're shooting out the skull face. I'll put those up on the Behind Enemy Lines page shortly. But yeah, I cut off the rib cage to a what do you call them? The skeleton, and I shave off the Aquila on the Space Marines breastplate, and I stick a big old rib cage on him, and then just cut up the legs and stick them on the outside so it looks like he's wearing a skeleton. He's a spooky boy, that one. Yeah. But I have to do an entire army of them, which is like gonna take forever.
You should be alright because you're doing it as Primaris, so
So you only need like
less
30, right?
Primaris count for my armies, yeah, about 30, yeah, something like that.
Great, can't wait. That's gonna take forever. Yeah, but other than that, we shut up the club. Maybe play some more games. It's good fun. I did play Exploding Kittens again on Wednesday, and as usual, Rain just champion as usual. Walked away. I was already four.
Your way to victory.
I was already 4 beers in by that time. You know, it's good. I do love having club at a pub. You can just drink and drink and drink and drink. I don't think I have a problem. But yeah, it's good fun. Huh?
Pick you up.
Pick me up.
Drag you.
Oh, it's in the cargo. You can just walk.
Yeah, of course. It's like everything's in walking distance here. It's fantastic. Yeah. How about TK? How's that going?
Yeah, it's really good at the moment. Like we've still got like a really, really strong group of people that come every week, or every fortnight rather, playing all different kinds of games. So the big games that we've got at the moment, obviously 40k. A lot of Team Yankee is starting to get played at the moment, and people are gearing up for events that we've got coming up. So obviously Flames Con when it rolls around. Thinking about maybe doing another Team Yankee tournament, just a one-dayer at TKL.
You should do a Team Yankee DanCon.
No, they
Could
call
do,
it
actually.
Isn't that called a Dan-gon, and then you changed the raid name, and it was so unsuccessful that no one showed up.
Oh, yeah,
Put it on the we put it on a we put it too close to another event at Mighty Ape. So that's been played. Batman Miniatures game is really kicking off at TK at the moment. Like heaps of people are involved in that. Heaps of people playing that. The big project that I just finished was my Suicide Squad.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Got the box, got them painted up in about 2 weeks.
Who does that?
Way to go. Night Models out of Spain.
Ah, right. Okay. Are they the
Ordered a
ones that
whole
have-
heap of.
They've been.
We
they've
ordered a
been
whole
doing-
heap of stuff direct.
They've been doing that for a while, right? Like,
A long time. Yeah, this is like the second edition now. They do Batman miniatures game and they do DC Universe miniatures game as well.
right, and they do like Harry Potter and shit, right? Something like that.
I think so. I think they do Harry Potter as well. Yeah. So it's massive. Like people have got multiples. Like I've got multiple teams now. I've got some other models on the way. Thinking about doing some good guys because I've got Riddler Crew and Suicide Squad who are sort of good guys.
Good when they need to be.
Forced to
Yeah,
be
so I
good.
had forced to be good. So I had quite a good game against Daryl last week using Suicide Squad. He was using his Penguin Crew, and like I had like 3 heads explode because I didn't get enough VP to keep the heads from exploding. So Amanda Waller was not impressed.
Oh, that's right, because they have bombs in their heads. I was like, what do you mean they just like heads explode? I was like, oh, that's right.
Tons of headshots.
So if you don't hit enough VP at depending on what turn the game is, a random model who is not your leader, their head explodes.
Bloody hell. That's a bit rough.
Yeah.
Guess it's good motivation.
Motivate it makes you play to get your VPs, which is like the whole game in Batman Miniatures game is VPs. More so than any other game I've played. Like you can in other games you can run around killing everything on the table and that could guarantee you the win, but do that in Batman, which I think is probably one of its most redeeming factors actually.
Fair enough. It did sound like fun when it first came out, but I was in the process of moving away, and it's like, well, I can't really justify getting a bunch of Batman stuff just yet. But we'll see how it goes down here, because they're kind of like us with the new games. I mean, the chap who bought the British was really into the idea of some modern warfare games, and he got this, which does mean at some point one of us has to start Russians or something, so we do have a bad guy force to use against our forces of freedom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How's these talking to regulars going there, Mike? I see a lot of old people games going on there.
Yeah, we pretty much we've got some flames going on. So Pat and I last week, we meet once a month, so it's not quite as regular as you guys, hence the name Irregulars. So once a month, Pat and I played some Flames of War games. I think I played two games. We played Mid War, and I had a bunch of Stugs, and versus his British. Yes, yeah, he had some British Lees, and he worked me over twice. And I think we got like 2 games in about an hour and a half. So
It's V4 mid.
yeah, V4 Mid War. So the first game I fielded the Stugs as early long 75s, if that makes sense. So like the front armor 5, anti-tank 10 Stugs. And I think I got 10 of them in a 100-point game. And
Wow.
and some 10 of those, and I was running them as the remote control command card, the remote control demolition guys. So it meant
The
that
Borgwards.
So you got a few
Yeah.
bogwoods out there every now and again.
So I had some
That's mean.
bogwards because I mean Patrick plays almost exclusively infantry, but then he showed up on the day with a ton of tanks. So my bogwards were pretty useless. So, but anyway, so they just kind of went around blowing up any soft targets they possibly could, like 25 pounders and stuff.
So what
But
do bogwoods do in this version? I haven't really read the book because I don't have a copy of it.
Well, geez, get up to date, man.
I know. So sad.
They're
It's
pretty
probably
much
sitting at Battlefront with the rest of my crap.
They're pretty much the same as the old version 3 ones. So they're more autonomous than they used to be. So they can kind of run around. They're a unit that's attached to a Stug unit, and they run around and can kind of self-detonate. That's their only weapon, is they can just blow themselves up. But
As long as the Stugs stay still.
yeah, so a Stug has to kind of be like staying still, not shooting, and they like kind of press the trigger to blow it up.
Oh yeah. So do they just?
But they-
Is it like their shooting phase is them sending in the bogwood?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they kind of zip in there, and you can use your command orders and stuff like that to kind of get them a bit closer. So they zip in, blow up. They put down a template on the floor or on the table, and they've got like some huge anti-tank value, or sorry, not. It's an okay tank value. It's not probably not likely to blow up tanks, but you are very likely to kill infantry. So
Gotcha.
it's gone back to the old version of a bogwood.
the old version, yeah, and also to that, they can blow up as well if they can actually detonate if they get blown up. So you have to be kind of careful handling them as well. So
Yes.
So we did have a situation in one of the games where it was rocking up and one detonated and then it blew up. Luckily, I didn't have any other teams underneath it because Pat was shooting it with them with 75 mil, blowing them and stuff like that constantly. So one did blow up as a result of that. I think it's on a 1 or a 2. They detonate when they get destroyed.
Nice.
So you can kind of like what I was doing at the end when I was finally getting clever was I was moving them up close to him and just kind of daring him to shoot at me, and then if he did shoot at me, I'd still have a chance to blow up and do that. So anyway, so the Bogvards were kind of I don't think they actually killed anything in that entire game. They tried desperately, but I think they might have blown up a 25-pounder, maybe. No. Anyway, the point is that what I had were Stugs, and then I had some Panzer II Lukes as recons, because I was taking them out of Ghost Panzers. So they had the Panzer IIs, and they were pretty nice. They were pretty good in version 4. We're zipping around, expanding I use them, in version 4 you can expand your deployment zone.
Yeah.
And I was able to kind of, because Stugs are terrible at crossing terrain.
Correct.
I was kind of able to get them up close to a river so that there was enough deployment zone on the other side of the river to plop my Stugs down. So that was really helpful because I was able to get over into an area of the map that I probably it would have taken me a couple turns to get through. So that was kind of cool. So other than that, though, that was like my only success. I think I knocked out 3 Lees in the first game, and I lost all 10 Stugs.
Wow.
It was just for some reason I was just not rolling armor saves to save my life, and then they're getting bogged down all the time, so I couldn't concentrate fire. So yeah, that was pretty horrible. The second game we played, I upgraded them all to lates and ran them as the front armor 7, anti-tank 11 jobs. I think I lost like 3 Stugs out of my force, so I was down to like 7.
Ugh.
Did a lot better with that than the previous one. I was able to take a lot of fire because my front armor 7 against anti-tank 9 on the Lees was pretty good. So yeah, and then but it was just a matter of time when all those Lees were able to finally get around to the side and knock me out. So yeah, two pretty significant losses. Super quick games, but they're a lot of fun because they're tank versus tank, and Pat's a good player to play against. So yep, so played that. Everybody else at the club was playing Saga, so that's kind of like that's the big game at our club. There's just shitloads of Saga. So they're really getting into the new edition, and I have to be honest, I haven't got the new edition yet. So I was just kind of watching them and kind of looking at the new battle boards and the new systems and stuff like that, and thought, oh yeah, that'd be kind of fun to get into. So,
does it seem like it's much different to first edition?
No, so like there's a few like balance things that they've changed out. A lot more missions that they've added, and there's some stuff around battle boards that prevent spamming certain abilities and stuff like that. So a lot of it seems like a lot of it is kind of like fixing abuses in the rules and stuff, and then kind of getting that all sorted. And it also looks nicer. The actual books and battle boards look like they're higher production value. So
I think they were reaching those high production values when they got to the Crusader type books.
Yes, definitely. And the books, like, it's interesting because they release like a rule book, and then they've got like army books for the Dark Ages, army book for the Crusades, and army book for the like all the different sections now have army books. So there's actually it's a bit more of like a classic war game in that sense. So it looks really cool. Every time I see them play it, I am inspired to dig out my Saga
Normans.
stuff and play around. Yeah, get my Normans out, and give it a go. Over Christmas, I worked on a bunch of like Dark Age terrain because my son wanted to build a Mott and Bailey castle. So I thought, hey, this is a chance for me to make some like Dark Ages huts and houses and stuff like that. So I busted out a bunch of those for him to play with. Then he got bored of them, and I put them in my terrain box. So that was
handy.
Yeah. Yep. So that was useful. And so that's pretty much all we've been doing. We've got a couple guys that play 40k occasionally, some tanks. gets played now and again. Not last club, but the club before. Vic and I played that Skirmish Napoleonics game.
End of Drum and Shakos?
No. The Osprey one.
Uh,
Chosen Men.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. So I've painted up. I got a little order of 95th rifles off of Mighty Ape, and he got some Prussians, and we painted them up on during the week and threw down, played a game of that, and so we enjoyed it. We thought it was a pretty good game. We'll give it another go, club or the club after, something like that, to and build out some stuff. I got some 28 mil Napoleonic British infantry from I think it's must be a Perry's, from the Perry's. But what I like about it is it's 28 mil, so you're only doing like 15 figures instead of like 300 or something like that. So keeps it all manageable. I'm all about small projects these days when it comes to 28 mil.
Oh, then you'll love Team Yankee Allied side then, because you don't get fuck all.
Yeah. Well, that was the reason why I chose those M4s. I thought, well, eventually when the M1s, when the M1A1s come out, or the M1A2s possibly later on, yeah, there'll be fuck all on the table. So that'll be easy to paint up and easy to take. So
Yeah. See.
Well, just talking about that, I've finished my patterns as well.
Nice.
Yeah, all 10 are done.
Oh. Ooh, I wish. I don't know why I picked these large projects. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to do 4 million labs. Like, why? It's like, I don't know, because I'm an idiot. It's like
all my Humvees already.
Mediocre gun. Oh no! Actually, to be honest, it did get rid of a bunch of what are the little British? Was it swing fires or?
The swing fires, or
was it whatever they were? So he had some recce or something with him.
Scimitars.
Scimitars. Well, he had something little. But when labs start to move and they get their full rate of fire, or rate of fire 3 on the move with AT-10, it just rips little vehicles to bits. And they're good for hunting other recon, and they're BMP killers.
Totally, yeah. That's what you need them for, yeah. I just dug out my copy of Ghost Panzers as well, Mike Borgward's AT4 firepower auto.
That's not bad. I mean, it's not the 86 that they used to be, but it's still pretty good.
And they're brutal.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're
that's great to get rid of infantry.
Yeah,
like
and that's the thing.
Reroll saves.
Yep. Boom. Done. Goodbye.
What a fun little weapon! It does sound like a fun little list. So yeah, like it's cool. Not only is the other chap at club building what was he building? The Team Yankee army. He's also building a Soviet army as well.
All right.
Mid-war as well. So fun times there. Yeah, that'll
be cool.
So hopefully more people get to V4.
That stuff, I just have my ships, which is the other thing that I've been working on, which is my Jutland project.
Crazy Mike whittling away.
Yep.
Soon are we going to play that, Mike? I want to know.
Yeah. Well, I've got a small rule set that I'm about ready to launch, so I'll be hitting you up for some playtesting pretty soon.
I like it. Cool. Speaking of Saga, I can see my Saga army from here, sitting in a box in the dark, going, "Play us."
Yeah. We should get it. We should have that. We should give that a go. I'm one of the reasons why I haven't really been like super excited to get in with the guys at club is that like they've been playing version 2 since like day 1, and they're like way far advanced in the Saga world. I think the last Saga game that I played was at TCAL like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, something like that. So I'm not in the mood for like a drubbing. It's kind of like I'd be interested in like kind of an easy this is everything that's new about the game sort of a thing. So.
Then I'm your Huckleberry.
Don't want a curb stomping day 1 and be like, cool, that was a great way to learn. Thanks. Never play again.
Exactly. Yeah, especially with a finesse army like the Normans, which is kind of they're a bit harder to use than some other units. So,
Well, it's like my army was like hard to use because it's like, all right, everyone else has these weird skills, but you have this board of faith, and it's like you got to do so many acts and last so many turns, and then you can use your magical Jesus power to like go and beat people up. I'm like, this army is confusing. I should have just started with Vikings and gone and hit people with axes. But
Yeah.
not me. Let's do a Monty Python themed Crusader army. It's like, why am I doing this to myself again? I don't know.
Looks fucking cool though.
I know, but I just keep doing stupid shit like that. It's like, just pick something simple and stick with it, dickhead. And of course, then I paint the rest of them in like Knights. What is it? Was it Knights Templar? Yeah, let's paint white. It's like,
Oh, white,
dumb.
yeah.
So they're all the Knights are white, and it's like, oh, idiot. At least there's a company out there that did decals for shields that perfectly wrapped around them. That's why all the shields look really cool, because they're all decals.
Yeah.
But the cloaks, it's like, oh, all white. Why?
Yeah, I had a half a thought. I was watching that Netflix series with Templars in it, which is kind of a bit like...
I was watching that one too. God, it was
like,
awesome.
Yeah, let's call it that. Well, it was funny because I've been watching... there's a lot of Dark Age television on right now. The other one, The Last Kingdom, which I quite enjoyed that one. And the season ended, and then I thought, oh, there's this Crusaders one. Watch that one, and it's this Knight Templars one. I can't remember what it's called.
Nightfall. It's called Nightfall.
That's right. Yeah, and we watched it because we persevered and we're gluttons for punishment. But it did make me want to make a Templar army, and then I thought, well, that'd be really awesome, but whoa, white? Really? I can't paint white on like 100 figures. And the Deus Vault figures are expensive too, so it's like...
I'll tell you now, the Deus Vault figures actually are usually always on sale at Mighty Ape.
They're what, sorry?
Always on sale at Mighty Ape.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Trying to get rid of
Actually, currently in the stock take sale at the moment. I think the box of mounted sergeants is down from like $56 down to 33 or something like that.
Yeah, that's a steal. But
Yeah, I've got quite a few in there, so... Yeah, no, it's not fun to do. I don't think I even used an airbrush for it. I think I hand painted them all.
Oh, right.
So it's a
do you
bit
have
mental.
foot soldiers and all that stuff too, or just
Yeah, I have footmen. I have I have mounted knights. I think I have 8 of them is the number in this game.
Yeah.
8 mounted knights. Then I have 8.
8 is the number, and the number is 8.
Yes. I don't know. Shut up.
No more, no less.
Then I have 8 crossbowmen, and then I have, I think I have 4. How does it go? 4 Herskull, and I think I have another 4 Herskull.
Yep.
But the 2 Herskull lots are the ones that painted up like Monty Python's Holy Grail guys. But everyone else is white. It's like, why? Kill me now. Yeah.
Love it.
But it's a fun looking army. It looks pretty cool with the shields all bloodied up and have the Knights Templar crosses on it and stuff. But Nightfall's horrible. It's such a
I don't know.
show.
Like, see, this is the thing. Like, it's sucking me back in because apparently season 2 has Mark Hamill in it. So I'm kind of like, oh no, I have to watch season 2.
I'm one of those people who, if I start watching something, I have to finish it because it sits there on my Netflix saying you haven't finished watching this. I'm like, suppose.
Exactly. So
got to do completion.
I'll do season 2. That's fine. But
it's a History Channel series as well. I'm like, wow, it's a bit.
That's why I expected it to be good, because Vikings is quite good. I quite like Vikings, and that's a History Channel one as well. But it seems like they've got like the B team working on
Nightfall,
and all the A team is working on Vikings.
Because I was watching at the start and I was like, all right, cool, yeah, right, you got to defend the city, and there's like, all right, we're being booted out of the city. It's like, whoa, someone sped up the timeline by a couple of weeks, months, years. What's going on here? It's like, we're just gonna take a boat and leave, and like, all right, see you later, guys. Make it back to France. Oh yeah, King of France is a total toss, and his daughter's a slag. Yeah, it's
historically accurate.
It's a good show to watch, and you're like, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
So many slimy snake, but you know where it's headed because if you know history, Friday the 13th is coming soon for them. I'm looking forward to hopefully more people at my club getting into different things rather than just like I only play 40k. So we're looking at doing some more Mordheim in the future because I love Mordheim when it was the year 2000 and I used to play it a lot. It's a fantastic little skirmish game by Games Workshop back there, and our club gets what?
You just play Shadespire.
Because I don't like that. It's not enough grim dark for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's too bright light, pretty colors kind of thing. Not my
Check
scene. It's not enough. It's not enough. John Blanche for me. That's what I like about Mordheim. John Blanche's art is that book is him, that game is him. So that's how you play it, dark and grim. And the thing I like about my club is because of where I'm located, SIT gets new students in all the time, so you get all these nerds from around the country coming here. They start out as like board gaming people, and like sometimes card playing people because they have unlimited money by the looks of things. But you get the few who do wargaming.
Zero fees. They don't have to pay for fucking uni.
Yeah, but then they still get their $1,000 course related costs, and those go straight to the toy soldier companies.
Yep.
Because if we remember correctly, you don't need to provide receipts for course related costs. You're just like, I need that new box of Space Marines. Course related costs $1,000. Yeah. I don't know if you need receipts anymore. It's been a long time since I was at school.
Yeah, you do, but there's an easy way. You can get it. Oh, that's how I'm going to get my copy of Shadow Spear.
Yes, that's what you want. You want the government to pay for your toy soldiers.
At least studying.
Yeah. All right, well, that covers our clubs, plural.
It does?
Well, not plural. Yes, plural. More than one. I don't know.
Coming up.
What?
We've got events coming up, so we always do events as well. So events coming up. So what
events,
have
yay.
we got?
What do you got?
I'm just looking at my events calendar now.
Good prep.
So Bludgefest is on at TKR this weekend, which is going to be super fucking cool. What else have we got? NZTC is April 6th, April 7th. Massive. Age of Sigmar Nationals is April 20th and 21st down in Cavity College. Funky Warhammer 40,000 event in May. Yeah, that should cover us for the next couple of minutes. And then, boom, the biggest fucking event on the calendar for Wargaming until we hit July is the D-Day Anniversary Gaming event on the 8th of June, because it's a Saturday, which is going to be fucking awesome.
That's a Mighty Ape, yeah.
It's a Mighty Ape, yeah. So it's going to be a 2-system event. We're going to have Bolt Action and we're going to have Flames of War. First day is going to be like a proper tournament, and then the second day is going to be like historical battles.
Oh.
Already available on the table, and you just decide where you're going to play and that kind of thing.
Do they need
so
40
things
feet
like
of
Pegasus
road?
Bridge, Peter Road for a D-Day event.
I'm just trying to get more use out of this 40-foot of road that I've got stuck in my garage at the moment.
I'm more than happy to take that 40 feet of road off you.
That 40 feet of road is great.
Yeah, well, they've pretzeled up a bit, but I've got some ideas on how to even them out. But yeah, I'll happily donate like a chunk of it to club because I don't need that much.
Fantastic. The D-Day event, it's the 75th anniversary. Yeah, 75th anniversary of D-Day this year. 70, yeah.
It'll be the same for Market Garden. Maybe I should keep that 40-foot of road.
It's not a bad idea.
In September.
September for Market Garden.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are we doing? Like maybe like you hear it now, folks. Should we put together an event, like a multi-club event for Market Garden? Another 40-foot road.
I'll talk to Dave on Sunday and see if we can get that one up at Mighty Ape as well, as I reach for my copy of A Bridge Too Far by Cornelius Ryan.
That was a fantastic game that we played. It did go on for far too long, but it was so much fun. Yeah. It's like what did I have at the end of the table holding up for far longer than it should? Was it SAS Jeeps or something stupid like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
you had some sort of crazy like motorcycle trips or something. Yeah, there was
something, and there was a ton of 88s, and I was knocking out 88s left, right, and center with machine guns, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Send help! And I turned back, and the tanks like stopped halfway down the table. I was like, oh, they're not gonna make it. Oh, I'm gonna die here. I thought that was
funny though, because I think if I remember correctly, it was like a task force of British pairs that like fought their way to the tanks. I think the tanks eventually did make it there, but they had to like cut through a shitload of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of SS and a lot of 88 fire and stuff like that. It just felt quite like it was a potted history of Market Gardens.
And it was quite funny because where you were in your little sector of the table, you couldn't quite tell what was going on down the other end of the table. You could just look at their faces and see like and like and it's like, what the fuck are they doing? And then you'd hear a fall back or a push back or move away, and it's like, yeah, they're coming or they're leaving. And it's like,
yeah, because we made sure that we made one of the things that because in those big events when you have like everybody, all Allied players go, all Axis players go, those can get really tedious. So the turns were kind of broken up as well. So like people weren't really like the turns were kind of, they started bleeding together when it mattered, but kind of cool. So like, yeah, there was a lot of 40 foot. What was that? That's 5 tables, right? So,
yeah.
No, more than that.
40 divided by 6. Math's hard this time of night.
Yeah, it's about. Oh, that's right, because we had a T, right?
We
so
did
it was
have
like
a T.
bunch of. It was a bunch of like tables lined up lengthwise, and then a T at the end.
Yeah, it's about 6 and a bit tables, 6.66666 tables.
Yeah, so it must have been 6 tables, and then a 7th table at the end.
And I think the table at the end, the road ended and turned into a little town.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there was like a bunch of paratroopers. I think I was playing 82nd Airborne was my one, and I like had to parachute like 2/3 of the way up the 40 foot, and I remember having that same problem of just like constantly getting smashed by SS counterattacks and things, and yeah, so yeah, we could definitely do something like that. The one thing, like Mighty Ape would be great because we just need a lot of space for something like that. So
Totally.
and a lot of tabletops. So then we should be.
Which they've got in droves up there.
Yeah,
that'd be fine. Yeah. But yeah, I'd be happy to run something like that.
And if it's in September, once again, direct flights to Auckland sure do help because 2 flights now is just murder on not only the wallet.
Oh, you're not invited.
Fuck you! I'll do what I want. I will paint up an entire paratrooper army in that short amount of time.
Got one here if you want to paint one up.
I got one here too. It's all in plastic. I can just build it. Or
Mine's all
Germans.
in metal.
Or I can. Oh, actually, what could I do? Actually, I could do British as well because I have that all in plastic as well. It's just unbuilt. Give me a chance to actually build my shit and then store it in one of these mini boxes. God.
Yeah, because I've got a ton of cromwells I want to do. I've got some British infantry as well, the old plastic stuff. I just have a lot of stuff that I just need a reason to get it painted. And right now I'm kind of like.
I think that's one of our problems. We could talk about that in the next part.
All right.
Planning for the future.
Let's do that.
Yeah, how you get motivated and stuff. All right. Here's some ads. Have fun. Dice of War. Dice of War supply custom and historical wargaming dice and accessories. Unique designs to suit your gaming requirements. Visit the online store today at diceofwar.com.au.
Welcome back to part 3. What?
You delayed before you said welcome back to part 3, so I had to say go. So carry on.
Man, so fucking professional. Welcome back to part 3. Oh, totally. Welcome back to part 3 of Behind Enemy Lines podcast. So we just sort of finished off part 2 talking about the how we're going to now, off the back of the D-Day event that's being organised, we're going to organise a Market Garden event because it's the 75th anniversary of Market Garden as well, and it sort of got us thinking around. Well, that's kind of a new project that you've already got a full Market Garden force painted or whatever it is. So what kind of things we can use as motivation for that? So what I sort of said off here while we were just setting up the new part was that I was going to commit to that British Airborne force that I said I had sitting here. So I'm actually going to commit to painting that by September so that I can use it in the Market Garden event. Last time I played, I think I used my German force.
Hang on, I can look that up.
Ooh.
I've got the technology. I'm looking in the Wayback Machine. Yeah.
The Wayback Machine.
Listeners can go to my blog, scarybiscuits.com, and find the battle report way back in October of 2014.
Oh, is that long ago? Oh, sheep's creepers.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now. I was the CNC playing the 6th Fallschirmjäger.
There you are. Yep.
What was I playing?
You were playing
British Air Landing.
You're unlisted.
Air Landing.
Oh, there it is. British Air Landing.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So you were the glider guys.
Glider guys,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we had Andrew Hott, my brother. He was playing Welsh Guards, so that would have been Cromwell's, and
It was. Yep.
Damien Caulfield was playing some paratroopers, British paras. Linder was air landing. Paul Monk was playing 82nd Airborne, and so was I. Now we have a player named Blair who was playing Irish Guards, and
Ramsdale.
Dave Gregg was playing 11th Armored, and Bob Pierce was playing Welsh Armored as well. So it's more Cromwell's. And on the
Rolls
Axis
with
side,
challenges, I think he had, because he had that armored Ricky.
right. Yep, that's
Bullshit.
right. On the Axis side, we had Greg playing Fallschirmjäger. We had Damian Reed playing the Comp Group Hummel, so a bunch of old
Oh yeah,
clapped
that sounds like
out,
fun.
Jonathan Carrier from Palmerston North now. He was playing some Grenadiers, the Confident Train Grenadiers. Ryan and Gavin Van Rossum were playing the Comp Group Nost, so they would have been SS guys. Kit Goldsberry, that guy, was playing some trained Grenadiers as well. Andrew playing a Stug Battery, and Patrick Gribble playing nothing other than
Oh, Swoboda.
yeah,
Those stupid gun teams.
388s.
And the 2 centimeters.
Yeah, and Steve Isles bringing it up the rear with some Panzer Brigade 107 goodness with Panthers and mobile wagons and crap. So, yep, that's
Up the rear, just where Steve likes it.
Yep, the rear with German gear. So, yeah, so that's that was a pretty good cross section of all the forces that were actually there. So
Massive. So I'm going to switch sides this time, and I'm going to go and play on the British side.
yeah. Yeah, so you're going to build a British army then? Is that what you're committing to? That your project?
It's all here. So it's here. It's based. It's ready to go. So if you got the Market Garden book, it's the whole thing. Possible option is in this box, including Tetrarchs.
Right.
So all I have to do is
Tetrarchs in this area, but that's all right.
I don't know. It's ready to just be sprayed and painted. So I'm going to commit to doing that, and I'm going to document the whole thing, because we were just talking about how documenting that kind of project is a good way to stay motivated on it.
Yeah, let's talk about that a bit. So, like, when you guys decide to do a project like this, everybody has there's 2 roads ahead of you. If you're a seasoned veteran player like us, you can either just dig something out of your pile, which you've played 100 times, and there you go, your job done. That's great, you're ready to go. Or you take the more challenging route and often rewarding route of starting something completely new. So where do you guys fall on that spectrum? I like always, when I sit down one of these projects, I'm always thinking something new. That's kind of like my default.
Yes,
but,
I'm also of that thought line that it's something new. I look next to me. I've got drawers and drawers full of miniatures, right? But majority of these are not suited to like certain events. I have snow infantry, I have desert tanks, I have desert Germans, but I don't have if I needed to start mid-war Russian or Ghost Panzer Germans, I don't have those. I don't actually have any Russian. Well, thanks Battlefront, I do have a shit ton of Russians, but they're still to be painted. But if I was to start like I need saying for Market Garden Late War, the only thing I can see directly is I have a ton of American tanks like Chaffies, but I don't think they're not in Market Garden. They're later on. And regular Shermans. And my Panzers.
Remember, the American armor wasn't there; it was all British armor.
Yeah, that's another thing.
The U.S. 7th Armored was there, and kind of was involved in the very last mop-up operation. So you could, you could kind of fudge it a bit if you want to.
And my Panzer IVs and that kind of junk are set for the end of the war kind of thing. So I would need to start again, and I would probably go with my tried and trusted 101st Airborne, just because I'm a really big fan of Band of Brothers, and I've got all those plastic paratroopers again. It'll literally be the third 101st Airborne army that I would have built if I built this. I built one full out of metal, one full out of plastic, and if I build another one, it'll be another plastic one.
I could send you some commandos if you wanted to paint commandos.
Oh shit! Actually, you're not wrong. I do have ballistas and ballistas of commandos, and
You don't.
I do. They're still here, aren't
They're
they?
not. They're here.
Did I give them to you?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Did I? When did I give them to you?
You remember when I came and got that big bag of blisters that you didn't want?
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I still have a box full of blisters, so like
There's no commandos in there. I've got them all.
okay. Well, I still have like a 50-liter tub of blister packs. So I could either do that, or I could do like a British tank army with infantry backed up, like regular infantry with the hats. Because I've just found that I've got the plastic British infantry set and plastic Shermans and Fireflies.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Go do that.
But it just comes down to picking. Like usually, I like to go with what do I already have and haven't bought. So that means I pull out everything I own, which is always a good thing to have. Like I love doing that. Just going through my boxes of shit, looking for stuff, and I'll pull out my big 50-liter thing of blister packs, and I'll just have a look through them. Say what do I already have? What can I build on from here? What has Greg stolen from me, and that I need him to send back? That kind of stuff.
Freely given.
Yeah, I know. But if it's like too big, like say if I get the 101st Airborne, I know I'm going to need to look for. I'm gonna need mortars. I'm gonna need Pack 75 artillery, which I think I still have in blister packs somewhere. And
They're here
just,
as well.
Just the little things that I need.
Yep.
To go with the army. But then I could just do infantry, and take a bunch of tanks with them as well. Take British support tanks. That works too. Or
that's the great thing about like V4, right? Like you could take 2 formations.
That is also correct about V4, but is this they're not V4'd yet, are they?
Well, Market Garden specifically isn't, and well, actually nothing technically is. But by the middle of the year, we should have the first Normandy books, right? So the first Normandy books should cover like from a 30,000-foot view. That's like 90% of the Market Garden forces. So you'll have paratroopers of all the varieties. You'll have all of the British armor that was in Market Garden, like it got started in Normandy, so they're all there anyway. So that'll be fine.
And you have your landing books, and you have your Actually,
the American paratroopers will be in there too.
Isn't the timeline for those books so February for the British ones?
There might be, but we'll see how it all comes out. But I think, like generally speaking, I'm fairly confident we'll be able to kind of bash something together. If there is something that somebody wants in particular, we can make it. We can do it. We can make it work.
It's not like we're trying to arrange a tournament, though, are we? We're trying to arrange a big fun battle.
Yeah, it's a big fun battle.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like best of. There'll be obviously a who's the best at it, because you won the shit out of your sector or sectors.
Yeah, things like that would be fine. But the thing, it is a kind of a get together, have fun sort of a thing. It's not super competitive. So if it gets crazy, it's fine. Plus, most people don't tend to go for the really weird stuff like the SAS Jeep sort of stuff. So,
unless you're Rob Sadler.
Yeah, and in which case he'll have to figure out something else. But I just figure, we'll have all the building blocks. I think we'll all be there. And if they're not there, we might be able to make them.
We'll make them. Yeah,
it'll happen no matter what. Just by force of will, we'll get it done.
Yeah. So that'll be a good thing. But yeah, going back to picking, it's just going through what I've got. I've got sets of drawers here that don't even have labels on them. I open up and find all sorts of surprises in them. But it's just, and then doing the research through my Market Garden books, wherever they are. Where are they? Really?
Market Garden books?
I don't know where my Market Garden books are. They're just always a fun look.
No, I know where they are.
Fuck's sake, Greg.
You told me to take them because they're not V4 legal anymore. You're never going to need them again.
Fuck's sake. God damn it. Oh, I'll just download the digital list. No big deal. It's so annoying. But then I just pick from there. But Yeah, the Commandos would have been a good one if I'd kept the models. What a tool.
I'll send them to you.
Well, yeah. Can you pick up all my other crap as well at Battlefront and send me all that shit?
After cricket season's over, yeah, maybe.
Oh god, cricket season. Yeah, that'd be great if you could send them to me because I could actually paint them for once. Because I did almost open a blister at them. I was like, ooh, and then I was like, nah, don't wanna. Too much effort. But then I realized they're a pretty cool army for that crossing of that river thingy with their cool little what do you call those buffalo things?
Oh yeah, that's late. That's late stuff though. That's the Rhine stuff.
Yeah, I know. Oh, no, there's another one, wasn't there for for what's that bridge too far? They're in that commander book, aren't they?
Well, they they were running around doing Schelt. They're up in like in northern Holland, mucking around, securing the flank of 30 Corps. So that's what they're doing during this period. So they're running around buffaloes doing that kind of stuff.
Maybe not. Maybe I'll just stick with the airborne or something like that. Well, I'll dig around in my boxes and see what I can find because a lot of stuff floating about, and we'll see what we come up with. So it just starts as an idea. Like this started as an idea in the arse end of the second part of this podcast, moving into the break in between, and once again, this is where it's gotten us to. So. What all it takes is an idea, because Greg was talking about the event. Didn't you talk about the event in part 1 or part 2?
No, the D-Day event in part 2.
And that's where you're like, that's the 75th anniversary of D-Day, and then
said that that must mean it's the 75th anniversary of
Mike said it's the 75th anniversary of Market Garden, and he was like, oh my god, it would be cool doing this.
You guys need 40 feet of road.
Yep, need 40 foot of road. Then we had a bit of nostalgia. Mike went back and told us about how awesome 2014 was, as we all got very tired fighting till 11 o'clock at night, I think it was.
Yeah, we had to be out of there. I think it was closer to midnight. We had to be out of there by midnight. The whole place like auto locked or something.
Yeah.
So,
and that was after a day of playing a tournament as well. The first day of a tournament, so everyone had already played their 3 games. Yeah, everyone had already played their 3 games. Then had to play bloody 40 foot of capture the tabletop. Oh goodness, reenactments. But it's fun. But if it was just that, I reckon we could be well achieved.
We did that. And we did that as the 70th anniversary of Market Garden.
Oh,
yeah,
true.
That makes sense. Yeah, there we go. That explains the date.
Yeah, we can do the 75th and make it a big deal.
Yeah,
let's do it. It's on. I'm going to go and find a red beret.
All right.
So I was thinking about like what projects I'd want to do for this. The one that I've got 2 that I really want to do. One is the British Airborne, which I've painted up like 2 platoons in like urban rubble, and I thought it's about time to actually turn that into a full force. But I've always thought that this was kind of like a crazy project because British Airborne has that Denison smock, that camo, like what is that, like four color camo or something,
like that.
And then to complicate that with urban basing was just, I don't know, it was a fit of madness. So it's no wonder why I only got like 2 platoons into the project and then kind of bailed on it. So I could like buckle down and actually finish that project for some British paras. I've done the American paras enough. I think I can kind of maybe walk away from them. The other one that I've been really wanting to do is just a regular British. So with the new Churchills out, the plastic ones,
yeah.
I've been wanting to do a plastic Churchill company, and ages ago I got that Dom's decal pack.
Oh, with the
that's
names?
right.
Yeah, I got those ages ago.
Yeah, I did too. They're great they fit perfectly on the is it the radiator bits of the tank? Yeah,
the names and all that.
The names
are
great.
I've been wanting to do that. I don't know. I think I bought all that stuff to do like in the first like year of when we were podcasting. So that must have been like 2015 or something. And they've been sitting in a box ever since. But they're all like resin and metal. But I never got the decals on the resin and metal tanks. So I've been wanting to replace those metal and resin. In fact, that's my meta goal. My entire collection is to replace all of my metal and resin with plastics. So that's kind of a thing that I'm thinking about doing is like, okay, maybe this is when I get rid of all those old Churchills and then replace them with plastic Churchills and then that's my market garden force. Is a bunch of it's like an infantry company and some supported by some Churchills. So that might be what I do.
Nice.
Yeah, I do prefer painting all the plastic stuff to the metal stuff. It's just
Yeah.
tank wise, infantry wise, I do like some of the metal things, but for some reason I'm moving towards liking the plastic more because it's just, I don't know, it's not really a weight issue. It just seems easier to clean up, and it's more, there's less fault with it.
Yeah,
know,
it depends.
with
It just depends on the metal thing. And because I've got some oldish metals that I quite like, and I've kind of started that. I did like a Grenadier Guards from Market Garden ages ago, which are the motor company ones. So they're running around in the half tracks and things. So they've got those tiny little platoons. So I started with doing a metal company that way. But I just was thinking about, like, I could either just carry on making metal figures for my rifle company, and then using plastic infantry, or plastic tanks, which is kind of where I'm heading. But I could just make the whole thing out of plastic. So, because I've got some plastic infantry as well. So yeah, we'll see what we do. I'm kind of leaning towards that route, because for the last couple of Market Garden events that I've played, I've kind of leaned towards the paratrooper kind of elite units, and I've never really done, and I have always wanted to do just a bog standard rifle company for the British. So I'd get some plastic 25 pounders and some plastic infantry and some plastic tanks to go with them, and go that route.
Sure.
So
sounds like
figure it.
Fun.
I've got to figure out what I'm
so
going
what
to do.
keeps you guys motivated
my
as you
support
go
options
through it?
for my
What keeps us motivated? Just, it's one of those things. It's like when I'm painting, I like to take photos now. I have my own Instagram account. Greg has the Behind Enemy Lines Instagram account and his own one. So taking photos of stuff as you go and just posting it on social medias. So whether that's the Flames of War Reddit page, which is kind of cool, sort of active, pretty interesting place. The Facebook pages, which there's there's multiple Facebook pages. There's the Flames of War one, there's the unofficial one, and there's, of course, the Behind Enemy Lines one, putting them up there and just showing your work in progress, getting the ticks up, just, saying what it's for. Setting yourself goals is another thing. It's something I don't do a lot of anymore, but setting yourself a goal and sticking to it and getting something done by a certain date is really important when it comes to wargaming and miniature painting, I think. So
as long as you're reasonable with your goal. Sometimes I've set myself some like completely unattainable goals just because I'm like, I can always be quite super ambitious. But like with my ship project, I learned early on that I kind of wanted to go into Jutland and do like 200 of these tiny little ships. But I kind of like figured what I should do really is just kind of set myself small goals, like maybe I'll just do the ships that were fought in the first like 15 minutes of the battle or something like that. And then that meant that I could do like 10, and then it became achievable, and then I finished that, and then I was able to move on to the next 10 and move. So yeah, my thing is just I always set myself like these huge goals, which is just ridiculous, like, and usually like really short timelines as well. So because when I finally settle on like an army that I want to take to an event, it's usually only like a few weeks out, like maybe 6 weeks or something, and I've chosen like a Russian blob of infantry or something.
Not a great idea.
Yeah,
I can tell you that now. When Battlefront sent me these blobs, like these 2 boxes, I was like, oh yeah, that looks like it's easy to do. And then you open it up and it's like, this is a shit ton of Russians.
Yeah,
it's like I'm gonna die doing this. I'm partway through the Storm group now, but I've still got the SMG company to do and all the stuff in box sets. I'm gonna die doing this. I'm gonna be dead before I even do this. I can tell you, I never actually finished my first one of these that I had. It was just grey bases, like grey muck on the bases, because I didn't know how to paint. But now that I know how to paint, it's a pain in the ass. I had to make a simplified paint idea for this, but I'm not gonna do that with these. With these ones, they're going to be nice because there's not going to be as much as there are friggin' Russians.
Yeah.
I think an important thing with goal setting is something we steal from the business world. Greg knows where I'm headed with this, as he probably tells his plebs.
Are you fucking going agile on me?
No, I'm not going agile on you, but the goals should be smart.
Prince.
Remember?
Goals, yeah, absolutely.
They need to be specific, measurable, agreed
attainable.
upon, or attainable, yes, realistic, and they also need to be time-based. So
100% correct.
now, all these things you hear me talk about most of the time when I start wanking on about agile and smart and Jira boards and all this other shit. These are all things used in business to keep project managers and their plebs on track for whatever they're doing. But they also work when it comes to setting yourself goals, when it comes to painting. Specific is a very important part. You need to write down what you want to do. So what do you want to achieve out of this? Like, what is the point? Why are you doing this? What do you want to do? Specific. Measurable. It's like, how can I measure where I am along the journey where I'm doing this? At day so-and-so, I want to have X finished. By X month, I need to have this done. You know, agreed upon. Or what is you say, attainable. Don't set yourself, I want to paint a full Strelk army by the, what's next month? The 1st of April. Because that's not attainable or achievable unless you are looking at going with a can of brown spray paint and saying, I'm done. Realistic, relevant. That all feeds into that, and results orientated is another part of that. Will you get this done? Is it realistic? Is it relevant? Like, are you painting Team Yankee stuff when you should be painting Market Garden stuff? I won't be starting this army because I won't be starting any of this stuff until after I've finished the Team Yankee army, because that is my important army that I have to finish in 4 months' time. It's not going to take 4 months to do, but it needs to be done. And of course, like I said before, time-based. Everything needs to be time-based, and a very important another part of this T is trackable. So set yourself like, and I think, is it you, Mike, or it's someone else I've seen, might not be you, but you're the first nerd I think of, has themselves a spreadsheet.
Yeah, I've got one of those.
Yeah, it's like a tracking spreadsheet, and they're like, tick, done. And they look really nerdy, but I don't do them, and I really should, especially at work, just to see where I've done, you know, where I'm up to. Tick, this part of my goal is completed, and everyone knows ticking a part of a project off is quite rewarding. Yeah, a bit of a dopamine hit. It's like, I've achieved something. Give me that sweet thing, you know? Yeah,
dopamine time.
So that's the thing. So look it up, Google it. It's just called SMART or SMART Goals, and it's a business world thing. If you haven't heard of it before, you probably don't work in an office full of people who talk in acronyms.
Yeah, it's fun.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go. But people just probably got a pay raise just listening to that.
I know, and that's all you need to do. If you need a pay rise in the office, you just walk around, talk in acronyms, tell people about your SMART goals and working agile and being lean in the company and shit. You know.
How many Jiras you've ticked off?
Oh my god, I go through and you know what I do? I get other people to tick my Jiras off for me.
Delegation,
and then I don't have to go to the sprint meeting. Boom.
Everybody hates sprints.
Everyone hates sprints and stand-ups. They're the worst.
Nobody does stand-ups anymore?
We do digital stand-ups.
Yeah, we do digital stand-ups too. Or I remote in, then listen, and then don't talk, and I say, yep, nah, nothing, it's all good. And then in 6 months' time, when it all turns to shit, I'm like, oh my god, we forgot to do the really important thing because I forgot about it, soz. And then we have to go.
Worst kind of person.
Then we have to go into warranty period and fix it. It's always funny. Anyway, don't be me
kind of person.
at work, but be me in wargaming.
Yeah, totally.
Well, debatable.
Right.
Yeah. Well, okay,
yeah.
thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Sure as well. Deal with it.
Yeah, but that's how we prep for it. That's how we get it done. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it? Are we doing Market Garden in September or what?
Of course we are.
Yeah. Let's pencil it in.
Fucking on.
All right,
Done.
good stuff.
I'm going to set it up. I'm going to ring Dave. I'm going to talk to Dave, and it's going to be on like the proverbial monkey up against Italian plumbers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, Donkey Kong. I see. Haha. Very good. Don't forget to put that in your Jira board there. I need you to have that done in Sprint 1. So we'll be ready for Sprint 2.
No, that's definitely a sprint 2.
Sprint 1 is asking for permission to get it done. Remember, you want to have as many cards up there for each part of the process so it looks like you've done a lot of cards.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Good call.
That's how you look good in front of like bosses. Trust me. Multiple cards equal, man, that guy's busy. When really he's just written one card for every step of the way. There is a way to game every job you have and to look busy when you're not busy. But I'm always busy because I'm a very busy person. Sorry, I can't talk right now. I've got a meeting. Anyway, I think is there anything else we need to talk about aside from like coming up with this great idea to do more crazy people stuff?
I think that's good.
Yeah, it looks like I've got to refurbish some road. I guess that's my goal.
Redo some road. Yeah.
Airport army to paint.
Easy.
Oh, you better
What's the worst
get
that
it
could
done.
happen?
Huh?
British Airborne though.
What's
right?
the worst that could happen? British Airborne, yeah.
Yep. So have fun with that Denison.
I'm just going to paint them green. It's 15 mil.
With
Terrible.
God.
That's horrible, Greg.
the
Don't
deep
you
cut.
dare cut
They don't even have
corners.
they don't even have any green on the uniform. There's like a tiny, do brown if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, it's brown with like the tiniest little bits of green
Yeah.
and like lighter brown and darker brown.
Like an orange, like a yellow orange, like an ochre or something.
What can I use for that? German camo beige or something. I think I can use for that.
Hey, you know what? If you crack open that book that you stole from Dan,
Yeah, it has all the
Gun
colors.
in the back it tells you the colors.
Shit,
And
got it in front of me.
and here's a great tie-in. Vallejo paint bottles are only $4 a crack at Mighty Ape at the moment.
Ooh,
Well,
So
catch
hang
the
on.
money.
there's no painting guide in the back of this.
It's probably probably in the paratrooper section. Look
So-
harder, not smarter.
On my Jira wall.
You find it yet?
Oh, it's not in here.
No, it's in there.
There actually isn't a painting guide in this book.
Bullshit. There's a painting guide in every book.
There's not one in this book. Find your copy of Market. Oh, you can't.
No,
find
I
your copy
can't
of
because
Market.
some jerk stole it.
There's a painting guide for the tanks, but there isn't one for the infantry.
How interesting.
Which book are you looking at?
Market Garden.
Market Garden. The hardcover.
It's in the front. That wouldn't make.
Maybe it's at the end of the British section.
I'll look there because that goes straight from the British section into the American section.
Did you
Oh
use
well, we'll let Greg fumble around, and we'll bid you all a good night. And remember to like and subscribe and thumbs up and all that jazz. Visit
Totally.
battlekiwi.com, sorry, and diceawar.com.au for dice and laser cut terrain and tokens and whatnot. Big thanks to everyone
Nice.
who's listening. You've been amazing.
Mike, thanks for stepping in at the 11th hour and plugging a gap that Damien left us.
Hey, no worries. You all can have Damien back next time.
Well, we'll see
know if I
because
want him
he's
back,
he's
Nanny.
probably I mean, we could probably fire him and he wouldn't care because he's busy trying to teach the world's next ladies soccer team to be the best ladies soccer team in the world or something weird like that.
New Zealand ladies soccer team.
That's what I mean, not just the best one in the world. Yeah. So
Cool.
there's that. Like, subscribe. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever. It's on YouTube and on Spotify and I don't know. Podbean, that's the place. All right. Ta-ta for now. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.